In this particular video, I will discuss about Java threads. So what is a thread? So thread is nothing but an individual or separate unit of execution that is the part of the process. So here the main goal of the threads is to accomplish the common task. So it enables the multitasking. So what will be the common task here? One thread for graphics, one thread for user interaction, and one thread for networking. So for example, if you are playing a video game, we need graphics, we need user interaction, and you need networking. So we have for each this thing we have a one thread that is allocated for graphic, and one thread for user interaction, and one thread for the networking. So this is the video game here, and we have three different things: networking, interaction, and the video. So what are the advantages? Easier to program. One thread per task can provide better performance. Thread only runs when needed. So multiple thread can share the resources. So that's the advantage here. Utilize the multiple processor if available. So what is the disadvantage here? Multiple threads can lead to deadlock and overhead of switching between the threads. So there is a overhead when you try to switch between the threads. So it can lead a deadlock. So what is the different way of doing this? One is like by extending the thread class, and we have a run method, and we call the start method to get the thread to ready to run the run method. So here we have two different methods. One is the run method and the start method. Run method where we want to write what your thread wants to do, and start method is what when you start the thread, you want to start the thread, you have to call the start method. So here there is an example here, class output extends the thread, and here the thread is printing some message. So here the run message is there, run method where we will try to run from 1 to 100. And so this is the exception if it is any exception is there, and we make the thread to sleep for some 1000 milliseconds, and the exception that we want to handle if there is any exception. And here there is an example output. One output you create two different threads, and so one is the name of the thread is hello and there, and we try to start the thread 1 and thread 2. Main thread is just another thread. Main thread can end before the other do, so it can end, the main thread can end before the other thread can before ending it can end, so we can make it to wait. Okay, the thread can span more threads, so one thread again can create multiple threads. Okay, so creating a thread too, so we can implement the runnable interface. So then also we need to define a run method, and we need to start the thread. So how we are going to do it? By making the runnable interface. So implements the runnable. So you need to have some constructor. If you it is not mandatory, and if you want to print the message from 1 to 100, so we can print the numbers from some infinite loop. You want to display some message, we can display it. Make the thread to sleep for 1 millisecond, and same thing. And somewhat it is complex here. We want to create one here. It is a output 1. Implement new output hello, output 2 hello, new output there. So like this we create the thread. Again we need to pass those objects. Okay, the thread object we need to pass inside the thread constructor, and we need to start the thread 1 and thread 1 dot start, thread 2 dot to start. Like this we need to start the thread, and they execute the run method. When it is start is there, automatically the run method is going to be executed. Okay, so remember that can only extend one thread. Advantage is like we can extend only one thread. Implement the runnable allows the class to extend something else, so we can extend whatever you want. You can have some other interfaces also if you want. Okay, so it may not be possible here, but in case of runnable you can extend something else also. So coming to the implementation part, so I am in Eclipse here. So in the Eclipse I try to create a thread now. Okay, so I will define a class. So class my thread. Okay, so here I will try to extend. The first method is like extending the thread here, extends the thread. So here I try to create a run method. Okay, so public void run. So this is the method that is to be implemented whenever a thread starts running. So I will display some message. Okay, so system.out.println. So I'll say hello. So here I will try to create a thread here. Okay, so my thread. So T1. So again, I'll create one more thread, my thread T2 is equal to create a new my thread. Okay. So I created two different threads. So now I need to run this method T1 dot start and T2 dot start. So now I need to start this two threads. Okay, T1 dot start and T2 dot start. Let me run this and see what will be the output here. Okay. So the two threads are started, T1 dot start and T2 dot start. So the two threads are started and they are executing the run method. Okay, so this is one method of creating the thread here. So if you want to create one more thread here, okay, so if you want to have a runnable interface, so that is also possible. Okay, so I will say implements runnable. So here the same run method, I'm not changing anything. So we need to create these two things, and now the thing is like I need to create a thread object here. Okay, thread T2 or T3. Okay. T3 is equal to new thread class, and I need to pass this P1 over here, and again here thread T4. Okay, T4 is equal to new thread. So I say T2. Okay. So now I will say T3 dot start, T3 dot start and T4 dot start. So hello messages displayed. So this is how we create our threads and how we are going to implement our runnable interface, and also we try to pass the thread objects over here, and we try to start this thread objects here by making of T3 dot thread and T4 dot start, thread. We can start the thread and we can execute the my thread method. Okay, so these are two different ways. Later things we'll see it in other videos.